The old Victorian house stood on a hill overlooking the town. It was a grand old place, with its gables and turrets, its wide porches and bay windows. It was also, undeniably, quite creepy. This did nothing to deter Mark and Sarah, young and eager, with dreams of restoring it to its former glory. They saw potential in the peeling paint, the creaky floorboards, the overgrown garden. They envisioned a home filled with laughter, with life breathed back into its dusty corners. The first few weeks were consumed by the intoxicating chaos of demolition. Walls came down, wallpaper peeled away, revealing layers of history. The house surrendered its secrets slowly, reluctantly. Beneath the modern updates, they found the bones of something beautiful, something old, something whispering. One afternoon, while clearing out a cluttered attic, Sarah stumbled upon a floor plan, the house as it was originally designed. Curiosity piqued. They compared it to their own discoveries. Most of it matched room for room. But then they found it. A discrepancy, a small room, tucked away at the end of the hallway, absent from their reality. A forgotten room. They stood in the hallway, floor plan in hand, a chill running down their spines. A sense of unease settled upon them. The air felt heavy, as if burdened by unseen eyes. The house seemed to hold its breath, waiting. At the end of the hall, a single door stood, silent and unyielding, an unspoken invitation hanging in the air. The doorknob was cold beneath Sarah's touch. It wouldn't budge. It was locked, bolted shut from the inside, it seemed. They found no keyhole, no hinges, nothing to betray the secrets it held. The door was old, made of thick oak, painted over countless times, each layer a silent testament to forgotten years. "What do you think is in there?" Sarah asked, her voice barely a whisper. Mark shook his head, his unease growing with every passing moment. He pressed his ear against the cold wood, listening. Silence, or so he thought. There was a faint sound, a whisper of something he couldn't quite place. It was gone as quickly as it came, leaving him to question his own sanity. Days turned into weeks, and the locked door became an obsession. They tried everything to open it. They brought in locksmiths, carpenters, even a paranormal investigator, their initial skepticism giving way to a creeping dread. The door remained resolute, a silent guardian of whatever lay beyond. They couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched. Objects moved around the house, tools disappeared only to reappear in impossible places. Sleep became a fleeting visitor, haunted by nightmares of a child's laughter echoing through empty hallways. The noises started subtly. At first they dismissed it as the old house settling, the creaking of floorboards, the rustling of leaves against the windows, but the sounds grew more distinct, more unsettling. Scratching sounds coming from behind the locked door like claws on wood sent shivers down their spines. Sometimes late at night they could have sworn they heard whispers, hushed and chilling, slithering through the silence. One night as Sarah lay in bed, she heard a child's laughter, clear as day, coming from the hallway. She froze, her heart pounding in her chest. Mark was fast asleep beside her, oblivious to the terror that gripped her. She closed her eyes, pulled the covers over her head, and prayed for morning. They began to avoid the hallway. They stopped talking about the door, as if by not acknowledging it they could somehow erase its hold on them, but the house wouldn't let them forget. The scratching continued, the whispers grew louder, more insistent. They were trapped in a nightmare of their own making. Desperate, they decided to tear down the wall, to dismantle the mystery brick by brick. They worked feverishly, fueled by fear and a strange sense of urgency. As the last of the plaster crumbled away, they stood on the threshold, staring into the forgotten room. It was a child's bedroom, frozen in time. A rocking horse stood silently in the corner, its painted eyes staring blankly ahead. A dollhouse sat atop a small table, its miniature furniture perfectly arranged. The air was thick with dust, the scent of decay clinging to everything, and on the bed, propped up against the pillows, was a doll. The doll was life-sized, dressed in a frilly white dress, its porcelain face eerily lifelike. Its eyes, two blue orbs that seemed to follow their every move, held a depth that sent shivers down their spines. The doll was unsettlingly real, a perfect imitation of a child. They stood there for a long time, just staring at the doll, a sense of dread washing over them. The room felt heavy, burdened by an unseen presence. The air was thick with the weight of secrets, of something sinister lurking just beneath the surface.